Then we're gonna make this thing happen. All right, I'm live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on Periscope, and live on Instagram. On Instagram, you won't be able to see most of the stuff that I post up, but you'll be able to listen to it. The clips that I use on the other platforms, I will be you'll be able to see the visuals. So what are we getting into today? A lot of things going on. I'm very concerned about all the young people trying to jump off the porch a little too soon. Gonna have to go through too many things before you get to the point. And the truth of the matter is, I don't think most of you all are strong enough to make it through. We'll get started in a minute.
Crew 19.
All right, brother Johnny Groove 19 Promotions, Jamil Salib Zamir out of Manning, South Carolina, sincerely thanking in and everyone that will be tuning into this installment. I got to take my time today, so I'm going to be using some clips from The Godfather 1, The Godfather 2, and The Godfather 3, and I'm going to kind of put that in context with the messages that I've been getting over the past week. Again, thank everyone for your prayers and well wishes. I got to go through some more tests. I know one day this month I'm gonna have to I got to go through a major thing. So yeah, prayers for that for myself. I've always had heart condition since I was a little boy. I was told by the doctors that if I were to ever have sexual relations, if I were to ever lift any heavy weights above 20 pounds, if I was to get excited, get into a fight, if I was to hit a punching bag or anything like that, uh, before my 19th year, I would be dead. And then I was told that if I didn't have an operation by the time I was 19, I would die as well from the condition that I have. But I have been blessed to be, I'm 51 years old now, so we're still making it. I just want to every there you go. Every platform you use when it comes to me is going to be a problem. So if you could take this feed, if you can take this feed from off of Facebook, from off of YouTube, from off of Periscope, from off of Instagram, and you can share it to your page, like and share these videos. The reason why, and I'm taking my time today, is because no one in this area is talking like this. No one in this area is telling you what God is telling me to tell you. So when God sends someone, I know you may not like the person. I was just talking to one of my oldest sons today. When people don't like you, they just don't like you. And my feelings are, if you don't like me, I don't like you either. And that's the way you have to be. Middle finger to anybody that don't like me. I don't like you either. As long as God likes me, we're fine. So that's the way we have to move. You can't stay around trying to make people like you. They're never going to like you because they've said in their mind that you are the problem. Like they said in their mind, Donald Trump was the problem for everything that happened in America. They're never going to like him. They're still talking about the man and he's out of office. What we have to talk about today is very, very important. Please like, share, get this information out to on the younger people's page. Get this information out on the older people's page. Get this information out to our people in general. Now, I got a lot of messages. I know you never know with your children how things are going to happen. You never know. One minute you're talking to them and the next minute they could very well die. I was on the phone with one of my youngest sons, probably from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock, maybe 3 o'clock in the morning a few nights ago. And it must have been after he got off the phone with me, got into a deep conflict. Guns are out, bullets are flying. He's hurt. And there's a lot of things going on. He's still going through some issues right now from that being shot at, putting me in a bad position because he's so far away, and then putting his mother in a bad position, his stepmother in a bad position. And I need for our young people to begin to think before you decide you're going to jump off the porch and do what you want to do. I need you to decide to think about the people who are going to be affected by whatever happens to you. A short story. This is going to be about an hour and a half broadcast. So hey, man, share this. This is very, very, very important. You don't have to like me. Again, because someone else just came on. Middle finger to anybody that doesn't like me. I don't care that you don't like me. What I care about is this message getting out to our young people. Y'all don't like nobody. You don't even like yourself. That's why you destroy your body. So it's no big deal. People not liking you is not a big deal. Just don't spread rumors about me. Don't run up ahead of me and destroy my my image, my intent, and we all right. But for the rest of you who live in that fantasy world, it's all good. So here you have your children. A story. I was out with my homeboy out across town at the Four Aces. Y'all remember the Four Aces across town? He got into a confrontation with some people from Florida. The people from Florida, I come outside to defend him, but the people from Florida had a whole squad with them. So my partner, Tyrone Thames, is standing in front of this guy. I'm standing to the left of him. Out of nowhere, they already got their women trained. When we get into beef, go get the guns. They went and got the guns. So when they went and got the guns, this dude pulls up this big gun and he hit my partner in the chest with the butt of the gun. Boom. Like, what you gonna do, nigga? And then he pointed the gun at me, put it in my face. What you gonna do? I can't do nothing. But the whole time this gun is in my face, I'm thinking about my mother. If I die here today, y'all gonna go and tell my mama all of these bad things about me that aren't true. I was just trying to help defend my partner, my buddy, my homeboy. And it could have turned bad. So today, Bulletproof Soul, we are already in hell. I want y'all to see hell for what it is, because what Satan has done, Satan has made hell so fair seeming that we think we're in heaven. But remember, Adam, the mythical Adam and Eve were kicked out of the Garden of Eden, kicked out of heaven, and they made a heaven in hell. So everything that went on outside of the Garden of Eden was really a hell. Murder started there, brother killing a brother. Incest started there, rape, all of that started there. And at the end of the book of Revelation, it says, God says, come out of her. Then he says, I'm going to destroy this world because there's nothing of value in it. You understand what I'm saying? So I want to go into some clips today. We're going to start with Godfather Part 1. In Godfather Part 1, Don Corleone is a mobster boss. But Don Corleone, as a mobster boss, understood that I don't want my family in this life forever. So his youngest son, he sent him away to Italy to go to school. He didn't want his youngest son in this life, he didn't want him to jump off the porch into this gangster life. He understood that once you step foot into this life, you're in it for life. Now, his son didn't understand that, but he did. So now Don Corleone there's an assassination attempt on his life. I'm comparing this to us, to how our young people jump off the porch too soon and get so thick into the paint that they can't get out. There is no coming back from that. So everything that occurs after that, after jumping off the porch, is a hell for you. Because now you got to learn everything the hard way, no matter what the mother says, no matter what the father says. We got mamas and daddies in South Carolina mourning and hurting and stressing over their children because their children were murdered in this society, in this system that we decided we wanted to be a part of. We jump off the porch and got right into the paint. And these people that put you in the paint, these what y'all call OGs. But the real OGs are now on Facebook and Instagram telling you young boys, get your behind back in the house. These other people who are just cold-blooded slaughterers are telling y'all come outside. Children are dying. Guns are real. Bullets are real. Killers are getting killed. Shooters are getting shot. Murderers are getting murdered. And Don Corleone understood that and didn't want that for his son. So he's constantly telling his son over and over, when you meet this guy, watch him because he's going to do this. He's going to do that. How's your children? How's your wife? He's trying to keep him human. And what I am doing by God's permission is trying to keep you all human, because you're becoming subhuman. You're becoming demonic. And the only thing that matters to you is what matters to you. And the most dangerous part of that is that you've got a force of people who are willing to back up your ignorance. So they're willing to kill, willing to murder, willing to destroy innocent life based on what you say. But there is a karma that comes with that. There is a dharma that comes with that. And Don Corleone understood that. So I want to play this clip for you. It's 3 minutes and 44 seconds. He's talking to his son. He sent his son off to Italy to college. But there was an assassination attempt on Don Corleone's life. So his son came home. And when his son came home, because he was a civilian, none of the other gangsters would suspect that he would be the one to carry out the retaliation for his father. But once he carried out the retaliation for his father, because he was the youngest and his oldest brother was murdered, he became the godfather. There's a lesson in this, that the killing, once it starts, it never stops. This is the first clip. I want to play this for you. Let me get it up on the screen first. Yeah, let me start it.
So, Barzini will move against you first. He'll set up a meeting with someone that you absolutely trust, guaranteeing your safety. And at that meeting, you'll be assassinated. I like to drink wine more than I used to. Anyway, I'm drinking more.
It's good for you, Bob.
I don't know. Your wife and children, are you happy with them?
Very happy.
That's good. Hope you don't mind the way I keep going over this Barzini business.
No, not at all.
It's an old habit. I spend my life trying not to be careless. Women and children can be careless, but not men. How's your boy?
He's good.
You know, he looks more like you every day.
He's smarter than I am. 3 years old, he can read the funny papers.
Reads the funny paper. I want you to arrange to have a telephone man check all the calls that go in and out of here.
I did it already, Pop.
You know, it could be
Pop,
anyone.
I took care of that.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
What's the matter? What's bothering you? I'll handle it. I told you I can handle it. I'll handle it.
I knew that Santina was going to have to go through all this. And Fredo. Oh. Fredo was. Oh. And I never wanted this for you. I worked my whole life. I don't apologize to take care of my family. And I refused to be a fool. Dancing on the string held by all those big shots. I don't apologize, that's my life, but I thought that when it was your time that you would be the one to hold the strings. Senator Corleone, Governor Corleone, something.
Another Pesanovanta.
Oh. This wasn't enough time, Michael. Wasn't enough time.
We'll get there, Pop. We'll get there.
Now listen, whoever comes to you with this Barzini meeting, he's the traitor. Don't forget that.
here real quick. For those of you on Instagram, I'm not going to take the time out to put the camera in front of the video. Either you're going to listen or you're not going to listen. But for those of you who just saw that clip, that is the clip of a that is the clip. I'm sorry. That is the clip of a father who hurts for the fact that their child has to be brought into a world, brought into a life that is going to cause them to be something other than what they have to be. I hate the fact that my sons, my children just jumped off the porch and were enamored by the world, desiring to live the street life, desiring to drink, desiring to party, desiring to have all the sex they could with every woman they could. I hurt for the fact that now I knew from the beginning that all of the karma that you build up in your life from the moment you decide you're going to make this decision, from the moment Adam and Eve decided they were going to go against God, everything that they did was on them. And when you get tired of dealing with the way things are, you can't just leave that life alone, because all of that dharma, all of that karma, you have to answer for it. Not your buddy, not your homeboy, not your girl, not your mama, not your daddy. Unfortunately, they can be victims of the stuff that you did. So you try all of your life to not build up that kind of karma. Now, I want to go into this real quick, and we're going to keep on going. We are talking about bulletproof soul. We are already in hell. I want you to really, really take this information if you can and share it, because it's information that no one else can tell you. They don't know how to tell you. They didn't tune into that desire of God. Most of our people who are in God are controlled by government. Most of our people who are in God are controlled by their own desires. They're looking for answers so that they can justify doing what they're doing. They're saying it's okay to be homosexual and with God. It's okay to do drugs and be with God. It's okay to kill for no reason and be with God. It's okay to lie, cheat, steal, and be with God. I know better. If I'm a homosexual, I'm just going to say I'm a homosexual because I like being a homosexual. I'm not going to bring God into that. When I sold marijuana, I didn't bring God into my hustle. I prayed to God, but I didn't bring God into it. What I was doing was wrong according to law. So there was a consequences to pay for that. You get warnings, and when you don't take the warnings, then you got to deal with the consequences. And most of us are not strong enough to deal with the consequences. But when we aren't able to jump out of the water like the frog, then death is next. To all of you, you love your children, but you know, I know my children are into things they shouldn't be. Death is next. I've seen this picture before. I've seen it painted 1,000 times before. So what God did for me was made me a coward at birth. And by being a coward at birth, the only way you know that you're brave is if you are a coward. So I know that Allah gave me bravery because I'm a coward. I'm no tough guy. I fought, I shoot, but I'm no tough guy. I'm no fighter. But Allah makes me a fighter. Your parents make you a fighter if you follow their guidance, if they follow God's guidance. Slow down. Stop running so fast, young people, because you're digging a grave for yourself you can't get out of. No church is going to get you out of this. No hopping around in a building playing music. It'll make you feel good. It'll give you emotional encouragement, but it's not going to change what has to be. People who go to church die. Churches are getting shot up. Mosques are getting shot up. Synagogues are getting blown up. So I want to read this for you real quick because I'm talking to you all about bulletproof soul. And the reason you have to have a bulletproof soul, and the only way you can have one is by God's permission. That's what it's talking about, putting on the full armor of God. You got to be prepared for what comes. And if you are not prepared for what comes, then it catches you slipping. Don Corleone told his son in that clip, don't get caught slipping. Read everybody in the room. If this person speaks first, that's the guilty one. If this person doesn't say anything, that's the one who wants to kill you. But our young people go out, they step out and think because they got a gun, because they got some drugs, and because they listening to loud music in that coffin that you call a car, that you're safe. But that car will be your tomb because you can't hear nothing. Your music is too loud. You can't see nothing. Your tent is too dark. And you can't focus because you're too high. So all I got to do is square off your car and be brave enough for the moment to put bullets in it, and you're finished. If you shoot somebody at the club, you still got to get in your car. If you get in your car and you can't get out, you're in a coffin, you're in a tomb, you're finished. It hasn't gotten that difficult yet here in South Carolina, but it will. Because every action that you all are engaging in is calling out bigger demons, and you're not ready for them. You just thinking party and have a good time like we did. Listen to loud music, party, and listen to thug music and have a good time, but we brought the demons out. The shadow people, we brought them out. And if you don't have a strong enough, so there's always someone tougher than you. Always. And if it's not another person that will take your life, then it's you that will take your life from abuse. You abuse yourself. Now you imagine this, young folks. Your mother, your father has to get a phone call saying, "I'm sorry, Mr. Wilson, your son has been found dead." "I'm sorry, Mrs. So-and-so, your son has been found dead." And all of the buddies, all of the pals, all they're going to do is get some liquor, some flowers, some loud music, and they're going to sit in the spot where your child died and get drunk and get high. That's all they know. They're programmed. Because the hell that we are in makes us to think that we are thinking for ourselves. You're not thinking for yourself. Don Corleone knew that. How did he know it? Because he's the Godfather. He's been through it. You know, we're going to have a lot of karma to pay for here in South Carolina. A lot. We're going to have a lot because we really believe that what we believe is the truth. So I want to put this up real quick. Karma. Karma is the force generated by one's actions in life that affects how one will be reborn in Dharma. So, you know, the Bible says that you have to be born again. Every religion says you have to be born again. Jesus died and he was resurrected. There's always a rebirth. The rebirth when you have a rebirth, that means that you have set your life up to where you can move forward because you don't have to keep repeating the same things over and over again. We're repeating the same things over and over again. Our children are born, they listen to music, they go get a job, they start smoking weed, they start drinking liquor, they get a degree, then they want to join a gang or they want to play football, they want to rap. Very few doctors, very few lawyers, very few anything of value. If they are a doctor, lawyer, or senator, they're crooked. A mayor, they're crooked. They're leaning towards the side that can give them the best benefit. They're not for the people. Karma is the force generated by one's actions in life that affects how one will be reborn. You cannot keep creating karma and keep being reborn into the same mess that you started over and over. You are not strong enough. Nobody is strong enough for that. Over time, life will break you. Over time, life will make the person you thought who would never tell. Over time, over being forced to go through the same cycles of life because we did not learn, you will get tired. The process of changing your karma is changing your environment. It's called a paradigm shift. You can't keep running with the same crowd. You can't keep apologizing. You can't keep letting people get over on you. You can't. because you will die in that cycle. But the most difficult thing is to come out of it. So now we're getting phone calls. Your son is dead. Your daughter is dead. We get together and go to church and have a hell of a funeral, but that doesn't change anything. Karma. Now, what is Dharma? Dharma is the divine law by which all people are required to do their duty based on their rank in society. What does that mean? If there is a senator, the senator can't be doing things for his family. The senator can't be doing things for his constituents or the people he like. It's a responsibility on that person to do for the entire community, to all of the people that voted for you. That's your job. Anything other than that, we have a right to come and snatch your behind up out of your seat and remove you. Same thing with your mayors. Same thing with your county council. Divine law, not man's law, divine law by which all people are required to do their duty based on their ranks in society. You are high-ranking general in the gang. You got a divine law. There is no gang member that should ever be approaching a civilian and pulling a gun on them. There is no gang member that should ever be pointing a gun at a child. There's no gang member that should ever be robbing or raping anybody. That's against the divine law. But you all don't follow the law. You follow your desires, your ego. Therefore, we're building up Dharma. Divine law by which all people are required to do their duty based on their ranks in society. Both of these concepts are central to what is called Hinduism. Central idea of escaping rebirth, escaping rebirth, and to the Hindu concept of honor. That concept, Dharma and karma, is the same thing that is in Christianity, the same thing that is in Islam, the same thing that is in Judaism. God does not leave anyone out of the right path. He gives Buddha has the right path. He gives everybody what they need. Mahatma Gandhi, all given the right path to follow. And if we follow it correctly, let's look at this, if I can get to it. It is like the Hindu concept of heaven. When one soul joins God at the universal God or the universal soul and is free from samsara. So when I said you have to have a bulletproof soul, I'm saying that we have to become purified in the eyes of the universal laws of God, not man's law, the universal laws of God. And for our young people, you are jumping off the porch too soon. You're not a good child. You're not a good brother. You're not a good sister. But you want to go out and be a man. You cannot be a man if you skip all of these processes that God put in place for us. You got to dig what I'm saying, man. And I mean it exactly like I say it. You got to dig what I'm saying. It is like the Hindu concept of heaven. When one's soul joins God or the universal soul and is free from samsara. What is samsara? Samsara is the constant repetition of doing the same thing over and over because we never learn our lesson. And we ask, why does this keep happening to me? It keeps happening because we never learn. No one will escape the instantaneous karma that is coming. You know how people used to do dirt and then it take about 4 or 5 years for them to get caught in it? Time's up for that. It's coming instantaneously. The last part of this, if you do your dharma, you'll get good karma. If you do according to your position, your power, your knowledge, your understanding, your capabilities, what you are supposed to do. If a basketball player is good at playing basketball and they give their all every time they get on the court for the sake of the team, they will get their karma because they're doing their dharma. But most of you, you're not even a good drug dealer. You can't even get good dharma from selling drugs because you lose all your money, then you want to go hit a lick and take something from somebody that doesn't belong to you. You are creating karma. And you're not exercising your due diligence in dharma, so you end up on this wheel called samsara, which is the constant repetition of the same thing over and over. Groundhog's Day with Bill Murray. Happy Death Day, same thing. Waking up and doing the same thing over and over until you figure out what went wrong. If we can do that, then we will reach moksha or exit samsara. That means your life will actually begin to be good. But here's the trick to that. Satan has selected certain people and made their lives good. So they think that they have escaped Dharma. They think they are in heaven because Satan has allowed you to walk down his path. And his path makes you to think that you're right, so you can do and you see it in Cosby and R. Kelly, and now with T.I. and his wife and many others. They will bring up your past and they will destroy you with it. That is not the same thing. I thank everybody for tuning in. This is Jamil Salibs of me out of Manning, South Carolina. We are talking about the bulletproof soul, and I hope that this is coming off correctly. Again, middle finger to anybody who has a problem with me. I'm not concerned about that. Just leave me alone. Leave us alone. And for those of you who feel like what is being said is of value, you know, when you stick up your middle finger, you know what that means? Look it up. When you stick up your middle finger, that means that you're rebuking the devil. You're rebuking the devil when you stick up your middle finger. You're rebuking the devil when you stick up your middle finger. So the things that people told you that were bad is because they don't want you to rebuke the devil. Rebuke the devil. When you stick up your middle finger, you're rebuking the devil. I rebuke the devil. I rebuke Satan. I rebuke the negative mindset. I rebuke those who smile in my face and talk behind my back. I rebuke those who act as if though they're concerned about what I'm doing but won't help me. I rebuke all of you tricky sayers who always sending me messages talking about how much you support and like what I'm doing, but you don't share what I'm doing. I'll X out all of you. We're in a time now today where we need our soldiers and warriors to stand up. We fighting white folk. We fighting black folk. We fighting our own mindset. We fighting everything, and ain't nobody want to stand up and fight it. You glorifying your evil. I love smoking weed. I love drinking liquor, nigga. I've been drunk since last week, nigga. You know what I'm saying? What are you going to teach your child? What are you going to tell them for their future? Go get a job where you work? That don't mean the job even going to be there because y'all doing such crappy work because you're high and drunk that you're giving them lackluster material. It's going to shut down like the Ford plant. Like in Detroit, Black Bottom. You ain't seen it happen already? Chicago, Motown, everybody high on drugs, heroin, crack. It's all falling apart. The only people left are the gangsters. Middle finger to all of that, man. We rebuking the devil today. This is Brother Johnny Jamil Salibs Amir out of Manning, South Carolina. I ain't no fighter. I'm a civilian, man. I'm a civilian, man. I'm a civilian, you dig? So in the first clip, I showed you how Fredo got into, I think that's his name, got into the family business. And this is an example of how our young people jump off the porch. You don't get into family business, but you get into the wrong business and you can't get out. So in this one, he follows his father's instructions, but eventually his father dies. Now let's run up a little further in Godfather 2, where he understood what his father was saying, and he tried to work his way out of the gangster life, but because of the dharma and the karma that was built up over all the killing and murder and tricks and lies that he had to do, he thought he was out. He thought he was living the life of a civilian, but the younger people brought him back into the life. The younger gangsters started testing his gangster. And he said, I understand young people. They're supposed to do that. I understand that, but I thought I was out. And I want you to pay close attention on how right in his kitchen, he had to flip out and be born again into that same demon to take on these young boys. And the reason I'm telling you that, an 80-year-old woman was robbed of her car, her purse. The old people, we got to pick the guns back up. We got to get the 30. We got to get the 100 clip. We got to fight our own damn children. We got to let them know that if we gonna die, y'all gonna die. It ain't no other way to do it because they will not listen. They on demon time. They on Pharaoh time. They've lost respect for everything and everybody. They rapping their songs about shooting up mama house. Shoot up mama house and mama gonna shoot back. That's the only answer we got. Islam asked the question in the study guide. in the rules of the 5% nation and the nation of gods and earth's the same. Why does Muhammad or any Muslim murder the devil? Why do we murder the devil? Because he's 100% wicked and he will not change. There is no negotiating with the devil. There's no negotiating with someone that already made up their mind. So watch how Fredo had to flip back out and become a demon again to deal with the people who want to bring him back into the world and test his gangster. Let's go into this clip. We almost done, man. I want to put this out there for you all because I want you to understand what's happening with our young people. I want you to understand that they're possessed. They can't stop. There's no way. You ain't coming out of this, because if you think you're going to make a mess and then just walk away from the mess, you got another thing coming. That's not the way it works. So let's get into this clip right here. Please watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch the lessons that they're teaching you in The Godfather. Now he thinks he's out, but he realizes he got to go right back in and start all back over. Listen to it from the beginning, please. Let's go.
All right, let's get a message to Joe's house. I respect what he's done. The new overthrows the old. It's natural.
How can you do business with this guy?
I'm a businessman. First foremost, I want no further conflict with him.
You tell him from me that he can live or he can die.
Vincent, will you shut up? That's it. Joey's outside. You can't be doing this alone. Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. Our true enemy has not yet shown his face.
Michael! Michael! Oh, God! I don't know.
Has he got his medicine?
I don't know what he's doing. He isn't one.
I got my one back. I got it. Run!
Vincent!
Where is Thundergird?
Get me to somebody else.
Thunder can't hurt! Harmless noise! Bullshit!
Hey,
Fuck! Out of fire!
We missed her.
What?
Of you on Instagram, I apologize, but I'm not going to show the video like I did before. But that is he's not Fredo. He's the Godfather's son. I can't remember his name. If anyone remembers his name, please post it up. But this is a man who thought that he had escaped his karma, escaped his dharma, and that he was raising his family out of this world of the gangster, out of this world of the streets. But once you get in it, you never get out of it. So I'm asking all of you mothers and fathers, don't let your child get off the porch. I didn't fight hard enough to keep them off from staying on. I didn't fight hard enough to keep them on the porch. And they're survivors. They all soldiers. My son is soldiers, but they're going through a part of life. They're in the desert for 40 years and they don't have to be there. They chose that. God sent Moses to free the children of Israel. And he showed them their promised land, that they could have had that promised land in less than a month and a half. He sent out the scouts to the promised land. He promised them fruits, vegetables, everything. They sent the scouts out. The scouts came back and said, yes, it's true. God did not lie. It's all there. All we got to do is follow God and fight. Fight for the right thing. Fight for the right thing. Get a bulletproof soul. Never mind what the people are saying. They don't know what they're talking about. Your most educated person is educated based on this world's knowledge. They don't know what they're talking about. They can teach you how to survive in this world, but if this world is going to fall, what else can they teach you? They don't know what they're talking about. Naturally, a man who is not of this world would not have more than a person who is of this world. So God gives us a balance, and he says, don't be in the world, but not of it. So the children of Israel did not follow God to fight the giants. And the giants are only those who have the knowledge, who have the power to destroy you. The giants are Goliath. All we need is God and the smooth stones. In the name of God, in the name of Allah, the 5 smooth stones, that's all we need. Bismillah Rahman Rahim. That's all we need. In the name of God, in the name of the Father. Put on the full armor of God and let's go out and fight. Fight for our young people. Fight for the next generation, because this one is gone. They're going to have to deal with their karma. They don't know it. They think they see a way out, but you ain't getting out of this. I didn't get out. I ain't never killed nobody, but I pulled guns. I shot at people. You don't get out. You never get out. There's always hell to pay. The only way out is to change your soul, your heart, and you can't do that by yourself. You don't even understand how to do it. The minute you get lonely, you go back to the foolishness. But on this clip I showed you, The Godfather 2, he said, just when I thought I was out, they pull me right back in. And then he flips out and he starts remembering his brother Fredo and all the people that died in this gangster stuff. And he's like, come on, come on. I have flipped out. My community has brought the demon out of me. I am not lying to you. I have flipped just like that, because I can't believe I set up shop to rest and somebody would come around me and test me. What you tested me for? They're testing our old people. They're robbing our old people. I'm saying to the old, get your guns out. The time for talk is over. If we gonna die, at least we got 50 years, 60 years, 70 years. Them young boys ain't gonna get 15 or 19 or 20. If we gonna die, God, let me take 2 for my 1, or 5 because I'm that important. Take 5 and my death will be worth it. And I mean that. But these young people, y'all coming off the porch too soon. And y'all think y'all are invincible because you got a 30. You don't even know how to deal with it if it jam. You don't know nothing. So I'm begging Almighty God Allah to strengthen the old people. We got to fight again against Satan. We got to fight against the racism of this world. We got to fight against the Chinese coming and calling us nigger. The Hindus coming and calling us niggers. The white folks want their spot back. So they want to call us niggers. And now our own children. Get your bulletproof soul. Pray to God for it. But for you young people, if you love your mother and your father, get you some accidental death insurance worth at least $500,000. You got a knot of money. You got onions and honey buns. You come into the store. It all smells like marijuana. So you're killing your people anyway. You're selling them every damn drug you can think of. And you're making that money off of your people. So get you a strong life insurance policy and sign it over to your mama. 500,000 accidental death and 500,000 death. So when you die, she can immediately move out. And if the gangs want to come or whoever want to come shoot up the house, let them shoot it up. She done moved. She's someplace else. But you don't love your mama like you claim you do. You don't love your father like you claim you do. You don't love your sisters, your brothers, your grandmama. You live in a lie. You're in a hell of a lie. And it's going to catch up with you. You never leave this life. They're going to pull you right back in. Now I want to play this last clip. This is the final Godfather where the Godfather thinks he's finally done it. He's finally gotten the family away from the gangster life, right? And he has a daughter. He has a child, and he looks at that child like I look at my children. Like they're going to be the ones to get us out of this mess. Like His father told him in the beginning, I wanted you to be a senator or a lawyer or something. I never wanted this life for you. To the young people, do you think your parents want to hear you cussing and playing all that profane music and smoking weed in the house, coming in smelling like weed? I don't care if you work or not. I don't care if you paying all the bills. They're just quiet because they don't know what to say or how to say it. Because they don't trust you. They know you will kill them. You understand? You will. But you don't care about death. You don't care about nothing. You killing your parents, man. And out of all of the people that have died in South Carolina in the last 2 years, what has been gained from it? Who got any money? Who got any territory? Is there a street named after any of the people that died? Do we have a hospital named after them? Do we have a park named after them? Do we have a street, anything named after them? No. We don't. We don't and we won't. Because there aren't any people with the skill set to get things done. We just run our mouths all the time. And the people with the skill sets to get it done don't even like you. I told you last time, the 5% nation. There is 85% of the people all over the world have been deceived by Satan and don't know what's going on. They'll do whatever they told to do. That's 85%. 10% of the people know what's going on, but they are bloodsuckers of the poor, and those are the people who use you and I on a daily basis. It's like you all thinking this check is going to be the answer to all your problems. Why do you think they're easing the restrictions on the COVID? You can go party now. You can go out and shop now. Because they're going to take every single dime of that money back from you and me in less than a week and a half. It'll all be gone. All of it. Bulletproof soul. We got to get it. We are at war with our children. Listen, half of the people that you listen to on the internet are always talking about God and God and God. Their children are totally disrespectful. I know most of them. They can't control them at home. They can't make them do what they want them to do, so they act like everything is okay. Or they ship them away in another town where nobody will know what they're up to. There is no way you can use outdated knowledge to teach a child. You heard what he said just now. I don't blame them for coming in. The young is supposed to take over. Now I want to play this last clip for you. I want to say this. I said over time, life will break you. Through people you love, life will break you. The people you would die for, unfortunately, these people think less of you than you think. The people that you give everything for. I'm talking to you young people. These are the words and the lessons that you would have gotten if you'd have stayed your ass on the porch for a little while. From the parents who know, from the parents who've been through the pain and the suffering that could have taught you. We built a bridge for you all. And y'all said, never mind, we'll swim with the sharks. Because I want to prove I'm bad. I can do 20, 30 years. I'm tough. Negro, if you tough, take up the baton of what your parents built and build more. Why you want a reward from me for doing something that you should have done 10 years ago, you doing it now when you could have done it 10 years ago? What you want from me? What you want from your parents? They don't love me. Of course they love you. But they wanted to see you build something bigger than what they did. So unfortunately, those people who think that you love think less of you than you do of them, and they feel they have a right to abuse you through their selfish desires. So when they broke, they'll call you. I'm not talking about the good people. When they got a problem, when they're looking for somebody to blame, they'll call you. KRS-One said in his song, steady packing a gat as if something's going to happen, but it doesn't. You wind up shooting your cousin. You're bugging. So all of the fighting and stuff will be inside of your group. They'll call you. So I'm going to play this clip in a minute. We're going to pause for a commercial break. Then we.
There you go, commercial, take 2. 3, 2, 1, go.
You ready? I ain't tripping. No ego.
19 Apparel. Malik Zion, Brother Johnny. That's how we do it. I walk through the shadows, crossroads, but I'm still hearing serpent rattles. It's a battle in this land of Babel. Snakes hanging in the chapels, trying to use religion to trap you. So why you paying homage to a statue? Satan squeezing apple juice in your snapple. Stair road to heaven transform into a scaffold. Everybody slipping. 19 Apparel, humble, ain't no ego tripping. Rah. That's it. You got it?
All right, for everyone, that was 19 Apparel, No Ego Apparel commercial clip. That's me freestyling. If any of you know me, Baby Boy, from back in the day, I love the freestyle rap. That's like crossword puzzles to me. I could rap all day long and connect words. I'm not able to do it like I used to because life has infiltrated my brain. And now when I'm rapping, I'm saying what the young people are saying and I'm calling the demons out because I'm bringing in the guns and all that. So I don't like to do it anymore because it's like being possessed. We're going to go into this last clip. I want you all to see where the young boy in the beginning who took over the gangster empire from his father and thought that the karma that was with his father would not be the Bible says it like this: the sins of the father shall visit the children. This is all true. This is Dharma. This is karma. That's what it is. But your religious leaders, they're not teaching you that. They're teaching you, listen, man. You got a person that killed 20 people, murdered them in a gang, just in the street, a darn serial killer. And when they body lay up in that church, the first thing the preacher gonna say, he give his life to God. He give his life to God, so he forgiven. He give his life to God. You better not never ask me to preach your funeral, because I'm gonna tell it like I just did a classmate's funeral, and when I went up there to speak, the first thing I said was what he was when I was with him, what we were. Everybody in the place clamming up. I'm like, what are y'all doing? We all have a past. You don't just talk about what a person do good. You let people know that they're human. So our young people are jumping off of the porch. They don't know anything about life. They think they do. By the time they finish running and getting beat up on, by the time they stand up to fight, they be savages. By the time they finish getting molested and tricked and all this other stuff, and I have three of my children have been molested. By the time all of that happens and they're broken, I was molested. Some people, it doesn't bother them. It's all right, but other people, it does something to their brain. So I want to play this clip for you, and I want you to feel the pain of this man when he realized that he will never escape his karma, that no matter what he did in life, he didn't escape. And this is for you young folk. Yes, killer, you're going to die. And it's going to be someone that you didn't even expect to kill you, but they will kill you. So let's go into this last clip real quick, and then we're going to call it quits, man.
What do you mean?
Come on. Mary, please. Dad? No. Oh, no.
No! Mary! Mary! Oh, God. No! God, no! Oh, God, no, please!
Mom, come on. No! Mom, let her go. Let her go.
All right, there you have it. No one escapes, man. That movie was put together so well. So well. Let me cut this off because it's getting ready. No one escapes, no matter what you try to do or how you try to do it. So I'm warning you, young people, you're going to bring death to your family. You're going to bring death to yourself, death to your community. I know that all you have is death because you don't see a silver lining in anything that you do. So every time I see a post from you all on the internet, it's something about my ops, my enemies. That's all you see. But if you heard in the last clip that I played, Don Corleone said the real enemy hasn't even shown their face yet. You all were tricked, man, as we were tricked. You all were duped into killing your own people, your own cousins, your own nephew. You all grew up together and hate each other for the wrong reason. I gotta say this because I can see down the line New York, Chicago, Little Rock, Alabama, Louisiana. That's where we're headed. You think because they don't report it in the paper, nothing's going on? It's going on. But a town don't want to be listed as a crime area, will not post all their crime. Clarendon County is no different. This ain't no saint of a place. They're demons here, and they ain't just out at night in gangs. Preachers, politicians, laymen, civilians, all up to no good. All of us. If you don't have a universal law that you follow, not man's law, God's law. So to the parents, get tough on your children. You don't even have to beat them. But you have to explain to them how to express themselves. Now, most of them, because of all the drugs we've done and all the foolishness we've engaged in, they are suffering from mental issues, ADHD, ADD. They can't focus. We don't need nobody telling us, well, they could have focused back in the day. It's the games. It's the video game. I don't care what it is. We got to find a solution to the problem. That's what we got to do. When the opioid addiction took over and white folks started dropping like flies, they found somewhat of a solution, not just for the street folks. They didn't care about them, but it was the people who were in law school and in medical school that were dying from opioids because they were stressed out. So we can't lose our next generation. We got to find a solution. So they started giving out free pens to wake them up and help them make it till they get to the doctor so we can save them. But we brag about killing our people. You hit them with the 30. You killing them. You're selling them dope. You're murdering them. You're raping them. You're terrorizing them. God don't like bullies, and I don't either. Y'all got off the porch in ignorance. Y'all got off the porch following another child. And if you weren't following a child, you were following an adult who wanted to be admired by children because they understood some of the dirt in the street. They could tell you how to hide a gun, how to put the bullet. Man, my people's taught me how to do the bullet. I could teach you how to do that. I could teach you how to do. Your parents can teach you things if you talk to them. My son ain't never been in the street. He's 14 years old, but he will shoot you. I know he will. I thank you all for tuning in. Mothers, stop making excuses for your children. They are not going to love you more because you make excuses for them. My child ain't been in no gang. Yes, they are. Mine are too. Yeah, they are. They cause ruckus. They run their mouth. Yes, they do. I did. Yes, they do. Until we begin to accept the truth in ourselves, we can never bring truth to power. We're in this alone. Do you understand me? Rappers and singers are there for you to admire, not to help you. Politicians and preachers are there for you to admire, not to help you. The only way they help you is if you are being a part of their program. They're coming with little Bibles. They're trying. I never asked anybody to join Islam, to become a Muslim. I never did. This knowledge is for everybody. Take it and share it. I thank you all for tuning in to this installment of Like It Is with Jamil Salib Zamir out of Manning, South Carolina. Originally, this was a show from my wife and I to really get into the subjects of what was going on in the home and in society, but it didn't work out that way years ago. So I started doing it myself. And then Dale Castro Powell jumped on with me, and we were doing it for some time. And then he got the Truth Show. But I am not, you don't stop. You keep going. I'm not in the best health today, but I want to look good. I don't want to be on here. Oh, I'm so sick. I'm so sick. But I thank you all for tuning in. This is Jamil Salib Zamir, Manning, South Carolina. Share the information, man, because it's something that we need. Never mind who gave it to you. Just take it and run.
Tell me like it is, and not like it was. Tell me like it is, and not like it was.